Last time we were in Oz, you basically wanted to leave me.
Yeah, it was a real hardcore
Just
episode.
gonna put that out there to everyone.
It was we had to have some hard conversations and recalibrate some things.
We did. As you have heard on this podcast, 2025 was my year of hard conversations. That was my biggest lesson for 2025. And we had a really rocky 2025 at multiple points at the beginning of the year in our relationship specifically. And I want to just say that that is really unusual for us because although we've been in a 15-year relationship, I would say that we haven't had to actively work on our relationship the way that we worked on our relationship last year. I have a theory that the relationship dies when the fun dries up. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Rochelle Fox, and you are tuning in to the Mindspo podcast, and this is my I Have a Theory series. And today I am joined by the other founder of Mindspo, my life partner, my lover, my business partner, my best mate.
Your private chef.
What else are you? My driver, my Uber, my sense of direction in life.
Unlicensed therapist.
Yeah. The pain in my ass.
Yes. The soothing of the pain in your ass as well.
The favorite person that I turn to, the person I have most fun with.
Yes.
You.
That's me.
My lover.
Yes.
So if you're new to the podcast, Soll is my lover of 15 years. And I actually talked about our relationship in 2025. At the beginning of 2025, I believe it was in February or March when we were in Australia, because we always come to Australia like for a month or so just to see family and friends, just to visit, to have a holiday. Yes. And we were going through it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Last time we were in Oz, you basically wanted to leave me.
Yeah, it was a real hardcore
Just
episode.
gonna put that out there to everyone.
It was we had to have some hard conversations and recalibrate some things.
We did. As you have heard on this podcast, 2025 was my year of hard conversations. That was my biggest lesson for 2025. And we had a really rocky 2025 at multiple points at the beginning of the year in our relationship specifically. And I want to just say that that is really unusual for us because although we've been in a 15-year relationship, I would say that we haven't had to actively work on our relationship the way that we worked on our relationship last year.
Yeah. Yeah, we got away pretty easy before that, if I think about it.
Why are you so easy to be with? Why do I like you so much?
Because I have a great sense of humor.
He's really humble, guys.
And I forget things on purpose. That helps.
Oh, is that
I have selective memory.
You do have selective memory.
I have really good memory, and I'm also really good at deleting certain files, which allows me to forgive people easily.
Have I done lots of things that need forgiving?
No, just little things. Oh. I just go, all right, it's just one of your quirks. I'll just put up with it.
I am a bit quirky.
Yeah, she's very quirky.
I don't think Chris is always like...
She's way more quirky than most people know.
Chris is always like, people have no idea how quirky you are. I'm like, oh. Yeah. So yeah, I won't let the real me come out. You get glimpses of me on the internet now. You get pretty much all of me, but you don't get me, in a 15-year relationship, you know someone on a different level.
Yeah.
I feel like we're exposing too much here.
Hey, you're leading the way.
I'm starting to get the sweats. Can you see? I'm just adjusting my hair. I'm touching my hair so much. Anyway, look, I want to be honest about relationships because I feel like a lot of the time you see like the perfect image of relationships online, especially on Instagram. And it is so easy to look at a picture or to look at a reel or just to have like a tiny glimpse into someone's life for like 12 seconds with something funny or cute that they want everyone to see and not realize that there are ups and downs that go into that. And every relationship has its highs and its lows. And I really want to highlight that, especially for long-term relationships, because I think that there's not many people that have been in really long-term healthy partnerships.
Keyword.
Healthy.
Healthy. Not just putting up with each other, not just being too afraid to leave each other, so we'll just kind of stick it out, not feeling like it's a chore and a duty, but actually something that you choose with the very finite amount of time that we get to have in the physical reality. This life is very precious and probably I'd say the most important decision you will ever make is who you decide to choose to spend all your time with, because no one will tap into your consciousness and your beliefs and what you're willing to allow and what you're willing to pursue and the courage you will muster, and all, like every area of life is determined by your inner dialogue as well as the outer dialogue that is always with you in the form of another human being. So, make sure you don't judge a book by its cover, but then make sure you read it as well and choose wisely. So I faltered for a little bit there, but I was extremely burnt out at that point. That was a moment. There was a real, the whole shedding of the skin, year of the snake kind of thing.
Whoa.
That happened for us at the beginning of the year, not at the end.
Yeah.
That was.
And then it was very, I feel like we shed a lot at the beginning of the year, and then we had a very raw snake for all of 2025 that was just very sensitive to lots of things.
Okay.
Didn't like that visual?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, you get the picture.
Yeah.
Chris is like, I don't want to think about the picture.
No. The raw snake.
Oh, anyway, stop it. It was a testing and it was an interesting year. And
That's what the foreskin is for.
Oh, shut up, Chris. I knew you were going there. I was like, back it up, back it up.
Say it?
Back it up,
Do I say
baby.
it? No.
Oh, I feel like it's healthy relationships. They are something that I really do feel like you need to go out and find healthy examples of relationships. And I'm not here to be like, oh my God, put our relationship on a pedestal, because no, we are flawed humans figuring it out. And we've had I think 2025 was the year that we had a lot of things that needed recalibrating. We had a lot of big tests, a lot of big trials, and we had to meet ourselves again, not only as individuals, but in partnership. And something I have always said is that I choose you. I continually choose you. And we have kept choosing each other for 15 years.
And not because of sunken cost bias. Not because, we've already been together for so long. It's like, no, there's only one moment in life. It's this moment that we're recording this moment that you're watching this. It's all one moment. And you can make a decision in any given moment to start an entirely different new life. You could literally walk out the door and never come back and live a completely different reality timeline. But most people program themselves just to get into a rhythm, which is natural. You become habitual to save time, to make things easier. You kind of start programming your life into this rhythm. But just remember that if you feel that your life is a 5 out of 10, but you're telling yourself, I got to stay because of X, Y, Z, it's like, that is a choice at the end of the day. It might be a sensible choice depending on whatever circumstances, but it is a choice nonetheless. And,
so true.
I think most people don't know how to choose, is one thing I'm realizing. Everybody has a choice, but we don't know how. We let ourselves be convinced by culture and other people who don't have it figured out either. We don't let our inner guidance system, our heart, our intuition, have enough of the steering wheel. That's at least one theory that I have for why so many people, good people, kind people who have hopes and dreams, feel like they're never really realizing them. And I just think in the domain of personal relationships, it's an extremely important choice. And, something I've said in the past is, I don't know where I heard this, but, too many people are trying to find the perfect relationship and not enough focus on building it. Because the chances that you're just going to find the absolute perfect puzzle piece, and what's funny is that's an illusion anyway. If you found someone with whom life is so easy, that might not actually be the ultimate route either, because even you and me, the ups justify the downs, and the downs create the opportunity for the ups. So do you want to find someone with whom you can just stay in an even neutral state? Hey, that's fine. That's a choice. You can have that. Some people have that. A lot of people probably have that. Non-combative types who just kind of sit together.
I would say we don't have a volatile relationship.
But we do have a little bit of volatility, which is healthy and natural if you want to experience some peaks in life.
We're definitely not always placid with each other. We have our moments where I think what we do is we're always pushing each other to rise up to the occasion.
I usually make fun of Rosh.
A lot.
But in a way that she enjoys, so she laughs because I'm quite good at making fun of you. And then I'll overstep some kind of mark, and then it'll turn into a disagreement. That's usually how it goes down.
But it's not like I want to highlight here because I think a lot of women get triggered by that.
It's not resentment.
Let me explain that because I think you're going to like trigger women here. Women.
Should I mansplain this?
No. Chris.
What?
Don't talk about
What?
mansplaining. Basically, Chris has this ability to kind of like just make lightheartedness of serious things. And it's not to like avoid the serious things, but it just kind of keeps you in this energy where I can be quite worrisome sometimes and I can spiral. We have this ability to kind of keep things light and keep things not in that, I think, heavy energy that some couples get into that then they get stuck in for years and years and years, and then they just don't know how to have fun. So in the spirit of what we just spoke about, and we've given you a little bit of vulnerability about our own relationship, and we've de-pedestaled ourselves so you don't think we are some perfect examples of whatever you're looking for, I want to talk about, and I think it is so important to talk about in this episode, the concept of fun. Because I definitely have a theory that the relationship dies when the fun dries up. And we discovered this full-heartedly last year. And it is a focus for us in our 15-year relationship, moving into 2026, to have more fun together. Now, I'm going to give you some practical ideas how to do this. And so you can basically go, okay, that's what I'm going to take away from this episode. The first one is one that we have done for years, which is something called boyfriend-girlfriend mode. And I want you to think about when you first were with your partner and you were in the honeymoon stages where you were just getting to know each other, things were light, you weren't telling them about your mum's, cousins, family drama and the text message from your auntie and the whole entire situation with X, Y, Z person. They probably didn't know the absolute inner workings of your workplace drama or your current KPIs or all of the things that maybe weigh heavily on you, which of course are great to talk to your partner about and to have support around in a long-term relationship. Or maybe it was before you had kids and it was before you guys had so many responsibilities and you were looking after these brand new little humans that were basically dependent on you for everything. So I want you to go back to that honeymoon stage in a relationship that you've been in and then think about how great it would be if you could simulate being in the honeymoon phase, but in the phase that you are in right now, in the present moment. This is something Soll and I do quite often when we'll go out and get a coffee, or we'll go out for dinner, or we'll go to a park, or maybe even we're just going to the beach or walking somewhere or catching up with some friends. We will look to each other and one of us will go
Boyfriend-girlfriend mode.
Boyfriend-girlfriend mode. Yes. And what that means for us is we are not talking about Mindspo. We are not talking about KPIs. We are not talking about Instagram and the post that is missing. We are not talking about X person that emailed about Y problem relating to Z issue.
Yeah. All the work stuff, all the complaints, all the challenges, all the worries. Just pretend it doesn't exist for just a little while.
And force yourself to basically have boundaries in your relationship around those topics for a condensed period of time. You know, you can do it for half an hour, 20 minutes. Great time is like 3 hours. That's like a really beautiful time to do it. And if the other person says something, you go, hey, boyfriend-girlfriend mode.
Yeah, it's not like timed anyway, because let's be real, you're going to end up defaulting back to your standard mode within a certain given time. But it's really nice to have that anchor together where you can at least periodically switch back into simulating a way of relating to one another where you want to focus on feeling good yourself and make each other feel good and have fun and be present and be carefree. Because at the end of the day, it's a choice. Once again, you can do that. It's just a decision that you both choose some boundaries and choose a focus together, you know. And as that famous line, I don't know, there's a famous line in the Bible that says, wherever, you know, two are gathered in my name. And the reason I think about that is when two minds put intention together, it's worth more than 2 units worth. So there's a real power in syncing up to discuss a topic at least once so that you both have the same memories and constraints and ideas of what that is, and then just being able to like trigger that together. It's like what we used to do when we used to argue and one of us would leave.
Yeah.
I would leave.
Always.
And then the moment I would come back through the door at the apartment, we once made a rule
everything.
that the first moment we see each other after an argument, we both know that there is an option where we could both just drop everything in that moment and not restart it all again.
And the other person has to drop everything as well. It's kind of just waving the white flag.
Just a little anchor.
So some tips I want to give you for boyfriend-girlfriend mode to implement this into your own relationship is physical touch. When you are in boyfriend-girlfriend mode, it is hands on, baby. It is kissing, it is hugging, it is the touching of the thigh. It's driving in the car, putting on the cool playlist that maybe you guys have some memories over, and then putting your hand on him. It's smiling. It's that like flirtatious vibe. And it's about really bringing that energy back and reminding yourself that you still have it. You guys still have it. You just need to turn it on.
Also, what I do often is I force myself to smile. If I've been in work mode for quite a while and I'm just kind of getting into that default, like, whoa, you're 1,000-yard stares. If I'm like switching modes, just know that if you have the brain chemistry of happiness, your muscles will signal certain actions. It works the other way around as well. I think there's something called the law of reversibility or something, where you can just smile, which takes a lot of different muscles, and this will signal to your brain to fire the neurotransmitters of happiness. So there's kind of a feedback loop there. So even that alone, just smiling for a bit, you'll notice it'll shift you by like 20-30% within a few minutes.
Wear something cute if you're a girl, like put on the summer dress with the cute underwear, like just do the things that make you feel like you're back dating, you're back in that honeymoon stage, and kind of have you both bring that spark back. Because I think sometimes in relationships, one person is trying to bring the spark and the other person isn't bringing the spark. And then the person who's bringing the spark is like, oh, why are you not noticing my spark? Did you not notice my thing?
And then the whole thing backfires.
But if you instead say, hey, 6 o'clock tonight, I'm taking you for dinner, boyfriend, girlfriend mode. It's like, okay, well, that's your sign. Like you're getting dressed up. You're in like girlfriend, flirting. Like this is courting mode. And remember when you were courting each other and how fun it was?
And I would also say, to me, boyfriend-girlfriend mode involves putting the phones away in some essence.
Soll is very big on this
because
one.
phones are such a big, it's like a third person these days that's with you. If one person's playing around with the phone the whole time, you can't really, you wouldn't do that if you were in the first 3 months of dating.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm going on my 5th date with this person who I really like. Let me just play around on my phone the whole time. Like, what are you talking about? That's a red flag if I've ever seen one.
Instantly dumped.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Instantly dumped.
Goodbye.
Instant dump. Just
Instant
add time.
dump. Don't chase, attract. I'm not chasing you. You look at me.
But
that's the first one.
Yeah.
The second one we wanted to say that we think will bring back the fun in your relationship is to schedule, and this kind of ties in together, but it is to schedule holidays and off time together in advance. And do not let the year escape you. We did this. In 2025, we let the whole entire year escape us. We didn't really have a holiday together. We had moments where we were away together, but we didn't have proper off time. Now, we run our own businesses, we're entrepreneurs. We have discovered, it requires a lot more intentional planning to really get us both off, to turn everything off, so we can just be present.
It doesn't just happen on its own.
No.
It's like the best strategy, and you don't need to be some hyper-organized, type A person to do this. It's just a matter of, if you pre-plan it, if you set a flag up ahead and you say, this is what's going to happen here, then the chance that that will actually happen, will be 80-90%. If you just have an idea like, oh my God, we should really do that one time, but you don't really make a concrete plan with a date, and you say, this is when this is happening, the chances of that happening is like 10%.
And then I think that you don't create enough barriers and boundaries around that time, and then other things leak in. We're going away for the weekend. I booked that call. I had that call with that guy at 5 p.m. on our weekend away. It's like, well, this is not really us time. And I think sometimes when it comes to holidays and really off time with your partner, it takes like a day or two to really get in that off time mode. So we wanted to mention here, we mentioned in another podcast, but we're actually doing something that will help you with this. It is our retreat.
Yes. We are
I'm so excited. Every time I talk about it, I get so excited.
Yeah. We are running a very, very special retreat this year. It's the first of its kind. It's a digital detox retreat. Mainly because we're seeing, and we notice this ourselves, there's really a bit of a resurgence of people glamorizing and romanticizing what the 90s was like, 90s childhood, being disconnected from everything, being present, doing things with your hands, doing things with your friends. And we thought, well, what's the difference between the 90s and now? It's mainly technology. It's us being glued to devices that are taking us away from the present moment. So we thought, hey, why don't we create a little haven somewhere? And what better than gathering a bunch of people with the same intention of being present, but then also doing it in a really amazing, like 10 out of 10 environment. And to us, you being a water baby.
Greece.
So we're going to Greece.
In August.
And not anywhere, but in northern Greece, where it's green and crystal clear blue ass water. We've rented 3 private villas that are next to each other with a yoga meditation shala that's kind of separate overlooking. And it's panoramic views.
Like when we say green, you are literally from the balconies of your villas. You can see these beautiful green hills in the distance with that cotton candy Greek sunset sky. And then you can also see the blue ass water. We are like minutes walking away from the beach. It is going to be so beautiful. The name of the retreat is actually called Presently Unplugged. And it is about people coming together and being present with one another. And this intention, it started, we talked about this in another podcast, but it started as something we wanted to do together. And then we're like, you know what? This would be so amazing to do with other people. And this one is open to couples. So if you didn't know, Soll and I actually don't run all of the Mindspo retreats anymore. Our self-love retreats in Bali, we have 2 incredible facilitators that run those and manage those. This is the only joint retreat that Soll and I are hosting. So if you want a bit of my energy and a bit of Soll's energy, and you want to also, if you've got a man, like ladies, if you've got a man and you've been trying to get him into personal development and you're suggesting the things and you're trying to get him to do the work, just get him on the retreat, because Soll will talk his ear off. And Soll's not, I don't know, when I think men think about other men in personal development, they think, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. No, Chris isn't like that, but he is very much into this work.
I won't be wearing a big flat brim hat with mullah beads.
There's not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, but I'm just not going to be doing that.
But he's not going to be doing that. And I think that it's really, really beautiful for us to have other couples. We love meeting other couples that are on a personal growth journey. We're friends with a bunch of the couples that came on our Greece retreat back in 2022. It is so cool when we have couples come on the retreat. So if you want to schedule off time with your partner and you want to do it in a way where you're actually going to be off because you're going to be with other people that are off, and you also both want to meet other couple friends and you just want to have fun and you want to hang out with us.
And just think like dinners with panoramic views at sunset, long, deep chats like all night. We're bringing a Nintendo 64 with Super Mario Kart and a projector, playing games and exploring the island as well. There's like a bunch of tracks and private little beaches nearby. So just living in the moment and waking up, just getting back used to down calibrating and waking up in the morning and being like, oh my God, let's go for a swim. Let's go get a coffee and just mosey around with new friends.
It's going to be a vibe.
Yeah, it's going to be some serious cool memories that you will cherish for the rest of your life.
So whether you decide to come to Greece with us, all the details are down below in the show notes or in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. You can fill out an application. You can come and join us. The spots are going really quick because this is our only Greek retreat for 2026 and we're only doing one of them. It's going to be special. And we have a couples rate as well. So that is my invite to you. Yes. Come and join us. Come schedule your off time. And if you can't come to Greece for whatever reason, just schedule off time with your partner. Yeah. And that is going to help you prioritize fun. The last point that we wanted to make on the prioritizing fun was one that you really wanted to talk about. But I wanted to intro one little thing of it.
Sure.
It's really about this idea of getting back into your inner child and remembering that you are literally a child in an adult's body. And I will let Soll take it over from there.
Yes, shots fired. You're a man-child.
Welcome to planet Earth, man-child.
Honestly, growing up as a trap. And I'm going to caveat that. I'm not saying that if you are the guardian of a little growing human that you shouldn't take that seriously. Yep. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is in any given moment, you can choose your demeanor. You can choose the lens through which you see reality. And what I see is the people who look like they lived a great life got to a really ripe old age and are still a joy to be around and are still enjoying the last bits of their life, the qualities I see in those people are really quite childlike. They usually make fun of themselves, they make fun of other people, they take things quite loosely. They haven't bought into the harshness and seriousness of reality, which we are constantly being bombarded with in a effort to, make us consume more things, buy more security focused products and life insurance policies and God knows whatever else. There's all sorts of products that benefit from us being scared and from us being worried and from us being averse of what might happen in the future. And whilst there is a healthy degree of that to exercise, of course, we take it so far in this culture where we eventually turn off happiness and presence and joy and making a new friend regardless of what age you are. Because if you're constantly worried, if you're constantly serious, then guess what? You probably made your last friend when you were in your 30s, and that's basically it.
You have stranger danger.
But if you can still be youthful and look at reality as malleable, reality is a mirror. You will get back what you send out. And so if you enjoy being around people, which I know you do, because all humans do, we're designed to be with humans, then ideally it helps to install a lens of a youthful perspective, of being a little bit naive sometimes, not taking things for granted, being grateful for small things. And this is all a practice at the end of the day. There might be some people who naturally just know how to keep this very youthful perspective all their life. Maybe they are ascended masters who've done this life thing 1,000 times before. I don't know. Or maybe they are just degenerates who never take anything seriously. I've definitely met both kinds, right? But it is something that you can simulate and you can implement. And, your children will benefit from it if you have kids, because they get to relate with you better. And you're going to benefit because you're not going to wake up every morning thinking like life keeps getting worse. It's like life is a finite experience. It's valuable because it ends, and it is what you make it. And at the end of the day, the best times that you can remember are probably when you're with friends, when you're all carefree. Maybe you have memories from when you were a teenager and you felt so like anything was possible. And that sense of possibility comes from presence. It comes from not trying to predict everything all the time. And it comes from not judging everything constantly as good or bad or, things are getting worse. This is all a practice.
I think this ties into the whole entire theme of this series and something that I'm saying to you every single episode, which is the best is yet to come for you. When you're a little kid, you always expect the best is yet to come because things are always getting better. Things are always getting more exciting. And I think that in adulthood, sometimes we get to this point where we're like, the glory days are done, like it's not going to get any better. And I think if you can get excited about the future with your partner, you can focus on a goal and build towards it, or focus on even just a mood that you want to create. And I think attitude is so important in relationships, and this is something that Soll and I are constantly working on. Your attitude really determines so much of your reality. And I think if even as a simple exercise with your partner, if you could just cultivate a certain attitude, whether it's gratitude, whether it's playfulness, whether it's joy, like what's another fun attitude?
Look, for instance, go for a walk not knowing where you're going, and keep the phones away and go and get lost together, because you will naturally be in a new environment, so you'll be present, and then when it's time to go home, just call the Uber or something.
And have the attitude of curiosity. But if you can anchor your relationship in cultivating an attitude, that is going to help you guys cultivate this more playful, fun, younger energy. And if you can keep each other in that attitude by what you are saying, how you're talking, your body language, that is really going to help you guys rise up. And just remember to have fun together, because as this theory goes, I truly believe that the relationship dies when the fun dries up. When I say the relationship dies, the thing that I do want to caveat here and say, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, well, the fun dried up in my relationship, so my relationship's dead. Guess what? Relationships can die and come back to life. They are like cats. They have over 9 lives, especially long-term relationship ones. I truly believe that you can burn your old relationship to the ground and you can rise up and build a new one. We did that in 2025. Multiple people have done that. Your relationship isn't over just because it has gone to shit. It is able to be salvaged if both parties are wanting it to be salvaged, and if you put in the effort and the work and the attention and the care and the communication, and prioritize you guys again, prioritize having fun, being together, and just know that in your relationship, if you truly believe, and we always say, the best is yet to come.
Yes.
For you, for me, for all of us. That is the energy that we are on the Mindspo podcast 2026. We're on one this year. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, say hi, do something, share it. Let me know that you like Soll on the podcast. Otherwise, I won't keep inviting him on. And I kind of have to just, I have to hassle him to get on the podcast. Like there's a little bit of like hustle that goes into getting Soll on here. So if you guys give noise about Soll being on the podcast, then the hustle becomes easier because then it's not me saying, oh my God, come on the podcast. I'm like, wow, Chris, look at all these people that want you on the podcast. So
yes, you guys can all guilt trip me to go back on the podcast.
yeah, go message.
I'm very susceptible to guilt.
He is.
It's a battle.
How to manipulate Chris Soll.
Extroverted feeler vibes.
We are sending you so much love. I will mention again the link down below for our Greece retreat, presently unplugged in August in Greece. Guys, we can never do retreats in August. The fact that we got these August dates, it is the best time of the year to be in Greece. You're going to be so jealous if you don't come to this retreat because you're going to see us you won't see us for a week because we'll be off our phones.
Exactly.
But then I'll be uploading all of the digi pictures after, and I know it's going to be one of the best weeks of this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, never forget that you create your own reality. So go out there
and make some magic.
Yeehaw!